think it looks good. Does it look good, guys? I think it looks good. So I woke up this morning, and the first thing I did was check if the chapter was available, and it was. So I finished eating breakfast, I did what I had to do, and now I'm recording the video. But I read some of the spoilers, and I've heard that, or I've seen that it's really, really good. And we're having a break next week, which is, you know, a little sad. So there's like 2 good news and 2 bad news. The good news is my hair is growing back. The bad news is it's growing back slowly. The other good news is this chapter was amazing, apparently. The bad news is there's a break next week. But yeah, anyways, let's get it started. So I don't normally cover the cover stories because when I started reviewing, it was kind of halfway through some of the cover stories. But this is my first cover story that we're starting, and it's in Onigashima. And we're seeing Onigashima at the, it looks like it's like going to the bottom. I think it's at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. It says a submerged Onigashima. And we see like the other submerged, like Japanese styled, you know, like buildings. And we see like fish swimming around. And it seems like, yeah, Onigashima just completely drowned. It submerged itself into the water. And we see the giant sword there, the giant katana. Anyways, this is chapter 1109 called Termination. So we're starting off the chapter, and it says, a message to the world. So we're literally going from the last chapter right to what's happening now. And apparently he's talking to Shaka in the video. So as I mentioned last chapter, I didn't know if that was like himself being put into like a consciousness, or if this was a pre-recorded message. And it seems like this is a pre-recorded message because it says here, even if you get this broadcast to start so suddenly, it may not work. And Vegapunk is like, what do you mean, Shaka? He's like, we're counting on too much people being ready to receive and relay this. And we see Vegapunk, and we see Shaka in the back. Now remember, Shaka got his freaking robotic brains blown out. So we don't know if he's an actual like robot, because we've seen like splurt out. So we don't know if it's oil or if it's blood. But in the video, you know, he's telling them like, hey, you're really expecting people to be ready. Like, oh my God, Vegapunk, I'm going to whip out my phone and see what he has to say, you know? But it's like, is that even possible? You know, Shaka's like, can people even be ready to receive it? What if people are like working, you know, their phone's dead or their den mush? Well, it's a snail, so never mind. But what if like they can't receive the information in that context? So Shaka's like, I don't think it's gonna work. Like, you really think people are gonna be ready? You think so? But what if like someone intercepts it or tries censoring it? And this is hilarious because this is supposed to be a message to the world. And they're just talking like a normal conversation. When instead it should have been like, hi, this is President Lezo. I am here to talk about the One Piece world and how dangerous Im is. He is a terrorist who wants to destroy the world. Or something like that, you know? Like, but instead, he's like, hey, Shaka, so like, do you think I should still do this? And Shaka's like, I don't know, man. It feels a little weird if you just kind of, you know, do it like this. You really think people are going to be... And they're just having a conversation while this video is being recorded. So they're basically making a YouTube video. And he's like... And then there's people like in marine ships and they're like, what the heck is this? Where's this broadcast coming from? He's like, it's coming from every ship's transponder snail. And Vegapunk's like, you're right. What if this does get censored? Any suggestions, Shaka? So they're literally just like brainstorming this as they're recording the video. Come on, Vegapunk. You're smarter than this. Come on, man. So Shaka goes off and says, we could piggyback off of the Navy's comms traffic. So intercept them because, you know, they're all over the world. They always have their comms systems on, their Den Mushies. So in a sense, it's kind of like a podcast. They're transmitting, I meant to say, their voices throughout the Den Mushi. So, you know, there's Marines around, it just starts talking, and then, you know, the transmission's getting set to wherever Marines are. And we see a Marine, and they're like, hey, cut the connection. And he's like, I can't, like, we can't cut it, like, it's not working. Shaka goes on and says, that would allow us to force a worldwide constant broadcast with our signal strength at maximum. So like Punk Records or something is sending out the, you know, the signal strength. And so like every Den Mushi in the world is like receiving this, especially their they're piggybacking. Is that a word? Piggybacking? I don't know. But they're using, you know, the Marines like Den Mushies to get their message across in various islands and whatnot. So Vegapunk goes on and says, I see. That'll make it possible for anyone with the transponder snail to receive our initial voice message. Yeah, see, it's kind of like a podcast. So they're like, we could get everyone to get our voice message. And Luffy's just like, huh? And he's holding a giant spider by the head, which is Saturn. And he's holding Kizaru in the hand. And he looks awesome. I'm not even gonna, like, this looks awesome. I love this drawing right here. And Vegapunk goes on and says, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. But they'll still need a while to prepare their visual transponder snails. The time to set that up will vary from place to place. So what I'm getting from this is they're talking this. That's why they didn't cut this out. So they can let the people know like, oh, we're using this, but we also need you guys to get a visualization or like get your fucking TVs on and whatnot so you can see what we're going to show you. So it's like, are they going to show them something? Or is this just going to be like a message, you know, just like, oh, you don't need that. You don't need to, you know, connect your transponder snail to a fucking hook decky and put the hooky decky to the what's it call it, you know, we don't need you to do that. But anyways, it goes on and says, let's take an interval of 1 hour. Oh my god. So he's like, huh, that's a dilemma. So Vegapunk is like, you know what? We should take a break, let them set up, you know, we gotta be nice, set your lights up, get your popcorn ready, you know, get some drinks, invite your friends over, get your Den Mushi nice and up on the screen, and then we'll play the message to the world once everyone's ready in 1 hour, you know, so it's like, get everyone nice and comfy, get your chairs ready, you know, it's funny when you think about it like that. So Saturn is like, what are you planning to say, Vegapunk? You know, because I don't even know, you know, the Gorosei doesn't even know, so how do you expect me to know, you know? And so Usopp's just kind of there, and we see Nami, and she's like, that's Vegapunk, right? And Shaka's like, an hour? That's too long! Don't you realize what will happen in that time? And Chopper's like, where's it coming from, and why now? So then we hear Shaka, and wait. Okay, so we see Robin in the back, we see Usopp, we see Nami, we see Chopper, and we see Edison, and they're kind of just chilling at the same part where they were at. They're kind of just like waiting for people and just listening to the message. And then we cut away and we see a bunch of Marines like running away because we see like a giant pirate. I don't think that's Dory or Broggy. I think that's someone else. It looks like, is that Dory? I don't know. It might be Dory. It might be Broggy. I can't really tell. But they're like, he's like chopping down at a bunch of Marines and they're like screaming for their lives. And then we get Shaka saying, there are people who won't be pleased when we start this broadcast. They may find a way to terminate it before we finish. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Maybe an hour is too much. Let's set the preparation interval to 10 minutes. So it's like, all right, guys, you know what? I'm sorry. Shaka told me we can't, you know, really let you guys get your popcorn ready and shit. So just get the Den Mushi. Get what you know, your connections and whatnot. Get your TVs ready. And we're going to start broadcasting this. So people all over the world, get your shit ready, all right? And Sanji's like, Vegapunk, is that your voice, right? That's your voice? He's like, hey. And Vegapunk's kind of like unconscious, I would assume. Like by now, he's lost a lot of blood. Like I would assume he's unconscious by now. And we hear, people of the world. And like, we hear like, oh shit. Now, we cut to see Saturn, right? We cut to the Holy Land of Marizua. And we hear, what is this transmission? What is the meaning of this? Says, you know, the Celestial Dragons, I would assume. And it seems like they're communicating, like, telepathically, I think. And he's like, Kizaru delivered a killing blow. I saw it myself. And the dude with the long beard, Saint Marcus Mars, goes, Now, I don't know if this is, you know, the Gandalf looking one with the thing and the mark, which is, you know, Top Man or whatever the hell his name is. And then we got the Samurai Gandhi guy whose name is Ethan, I think that's his name. Ethan Nosejuro or something like that. And then we got the Sanji's uncle, which Tekking101 called him that, which I think is Jupiter, you know. And I don't know who's talking here, but it's like, Could he have set up a dead man's switch so that this message would play upon the death of his main body? They're like, that seems likely. He's like, we have no way of knowing what he will say. And they're just kind of sitting in the room of authority, you know, the Castle Pangea, the top of the world, or whatever. And now we see, you know, we actually get who's talking. And here it's Top Man. Top Man is the dude with the beard and then the little mark on his face. And he's like, if we can just pinpoint the source of this broadcast. And Jupiter goes on and says, the only location that seems plausible is a Labostratum on Egghead, but it's currently protected by the barrier of his. And we cut away to the transmission again, and we see Shaka, Vegapunk, and now Pythagoras. And, you know, Vegapunk is like, what should we do for the remaining 9.5 minutes? Like, we're just kind of walking around. He's like, we could get inventing. What? Oh, basically, like, we could invent stuff. He's like, how about some coffee? So they're just okay, now, this part, I love this part right here. We cut to Dressrosa. And he's like, hey, we see a bunch of people, you know, like walking around. They're like, hey, did you hear that? This is Dr. Vegapunk we're talking about. Like, if he's trying to tell the entire world something, this must be a big deal. He's like, get a visual transponders now. Hurry up, put up a screen. We only have 10 minutes. And we see like a bunch of people like running. They're freaking out. They're getting like transponder snail. They got the big Denden mushy snail. I forgot what it's called. But they got the big ass one. And you know, that's the one that shoots the beam from its eyes onto like a TV screen or whatever. Guess who we see? We see Leo from the Tontada family. And we also see Rebecca. And we also see Kiros. It's so cool that we see these characters again. Now, remember, Rebecca is not the princess of Dressrosa. It's Viola, whatever. So for people who always think that Rebecca is the princess, she's not the princess. She is the granddaughter of King Riku, who is the present day and the previous, you know, whatever king, blah, 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 blah. Because people always mix that up because, you know, she's kind of like the main girl and Viola was kind of like, kind of a little pushed aside. But Rebecca's not the main, you know, she's not the princess. Just to get that out there. Now, we see them and they're like, the wise man Luffy land kidnapped. You remember? Because it said that Luffy was there to kidnap him, I think in the fucking newspaper. And they're like, what is happening? And Rebecca goes on and says, don't tell me you guys trusted another bad article about Lucy. You know, because Morgan's, you know, they made him write that. So we see that they have actually put up a transponder snail in the back. And now we see their visualization. And we see Pythagoras. We see Vegapunk. We see Shaka in the back. So they're watching it. Kiros is looking at it. And Rebecca has a sword, I think, to her hip. She has like a band-aid on. So maybe after the events of Marijois and the Reverie, maybe she got banged up or something. She has a sword still, which is a little weird for her to have a sword. But whatever. You know, that's something interesting to note. And Kiros also has a sword on his side. But we see him and then Vegapunk goes on and says, I could also calculate the probability of interference happening. I think that's what Vegapunk's saying. Because there's 3 characters now, so it's kind of hard. He's like, Kiros, I think, says, we've got the video ready. Is that Vegapunk? And then we see like everyone. That's a cool shot. Now, this is even awesome. This is even better. Because we cut away to Fuchsia Village in the East Blue. And we see like some random dudes outside of, you know, Party's bar, which is Makino's. And everybody's like, a visual transponder snail? Ah, dang it. If only the village had one. Hey, wait, what about the mayor? And here comes Whoop Slap, and he's like, who's going to pay for that? Raising it wouldn't be free, you know? Isn't having audio enough? He's like, you know, because he's a stingy old man. He's like, damn it, you damn kids always with your damn TVs. Now, we cut away. We didn't see Makino, but we saw Whoop Slap. You know, that's already peak chapter right there. Anyways, we cut to Water 7. There's a lot of shit going on in this chapter. Holy fuck. I love that we're seeing all these characters again, too. And they're like, wake up! This can't be good! He's like, Alice, prepared the screen for the message thing. He's like, yes, Mr. President. It's already playing in the room next door. Screens for each stock are also being prepared. It's nighttime, but considering the importance of this event... Oh! We got what time it is during... So it's nighttime. Okay. That's awesome. But they're like, it's during the night. Blah, 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 blah. A summons has been issued notifying all citizens to be at a screen within 10 minutes. Is there anything else you want, sir? And we see Iceberg's secretary, which is that cute little girl with the like little dog that she showed up. Everybody was like getting interviews after Khalifa, you know, was a CP9 agent, whatever. And I just realized right here that it says her name is Alish, you know, like Alish, not like Alice, it's Alish. That's why there's like a little apostrophe thing. But I said that wrong. My apologies. So it's Alish, Iceberg's secretary. Alish? I don't know. This is cool too, because like I said, they're saying that this is taking place during night. Now my question is the world, I don't know this, but is there a world kind of like ours where some parts of the world it's like 3 hours ahead, other parts it's like an hour, other parts it's freaking like 10 hours? Is this how the One Piece world is as well? That's I don't know, so I wouldn't know if like everywhere it's nighttime, like Dressrosa, because they're in the New World and this is the Grand Line. I wouldn't know. Now we cut away to the World Economic Journal that's just like floating above, you know. He's like, what's with this feed? It's being relayed through Navy's frequencies, but it's encrypted. And we see Vivi, and she's still there with Morgan, and she's like, where are Luffy-san and the others? So it's like, okay, people were always assuming that they were heading to Egghead, but I guess now they don't know. Or they didn't know, and I guess now they know because of Vegapunk saying like, oh shit, you know. And oh yeah, see, Morgan's is like, hey, don't be a ditz. Look at the clock in the background. That isn't the current time at Egghead. This must have been pre-recorded. Morgan's, you smart bird. After all, the Buster Call is bound to have reduced the island to a sea of flames by now, you know? And we see Wapple, we see like a girl, the girl that gave Vivi like the change of clothes, and she's still like, oh my god, like she's so cute. And, you know, we see the screen, everyone at the World Economic Journal's watching this as well. Vivi's watching it. She looks cute as ever. We cut away to the West Blue, and they're like, yo, it's Dr. Vegapunk in the flesh. I heard his mind was a cut above the rest, but this isn't what I expected. You know, because it's cut. And we see they also set up like a scroll thing, like a kind of like when you used to be in school and they used to be like, oh, let's put the projector down and, you know, whatever. Now we cut to the North Blue, and they're like, man, that's the man who lit up the world. And we see like a bunch of old people. We see a couple girls, and they have like, it's snowing. They have their coats on, and I assume they put the transponder still outside as well. We cut to the South Blue. They also put up a screen. Holy fuck, dude. This is gonna be a huge message. Holy crap. The South Blue also has it. We have a girl in the back. We have like a bunch of dudes just watching. They're like, he's going through all this trouble? What does he want the world to know? It might be the invention of the century or something, you know? Because for the people that are watching this, they don't know what's happening, right? They don't know this freaking Buster Call and all this crazy shit's happening. They know, maybe they've seen the newspaper where it said that Luffy, you know, took over. But they don't really know the extent of what's happening there besides us, the viewers, and like maybe a couple other, you know, like bigger name characters like Akainu and shit. Double page spread. This is where it gets good. We cut to Kamabaka Kingdom. Or Queendom, I mean. Sorry. We cut to Kamabaka Queendom. It'll take 10 minutes to brew the coffee, says Vegapunk, and he's like, I won't get a sip in. He's like, I see, the probability of interference in this frame is exceedingly low. And we see Ivankov, and she's like, what is Vegapunk up to now? More importantly, has he lost his head? What is he doing? He's freaking crazy psycho man? And we see Morley there. We see Bella. We see Sabo. We see Koala. We see Karusu. We see Lindbergh. So we got all the captains there, you know. And they're like, so that's the Dr. Vegapunk always talking about, says Lindbergh. And then he's like, he's quite the man to do this in the middle of a crisis, says Morley. And Sabo's just her like, Bella doesn't say anything. Karusu doesn't say anything. Koala's just like, ah! And then we see Dragon, and he's thinking back to what Shaka told him. I think I'll be dead soon. And he's just like, you know, like, oh shit. Holy fuck, dude. There's so much happening in this chapter. Woo, boy. This has me hyped up. I don't know if you can tell by my voice, but woo. So now we come back to Egghead. After seeing everyone, we see everything, you know, this was awesome. This is, oh, jeez. This is so good, dude. Oh, I love this. I feel like a little kid opening presents. Alright, so oh my god, this is even better. So we cut to Luffy, and he's like, looks like my punches don't damage you. He looks at Saint Saturn, and we see Kizaru's eyes twinkling, kind of like when, well, I mean, obviously, you know, because he has the glint fruit. So, but it looks like when Luffy goes, oh my god, that's awesome, and his eyes twinkle. That's kind of what it looks like. And he's gonna do like a laser beam, and he does like a boom, and then one of the claws comes up and tries to hit Luffy, but he dodges it, and he grabs him again because he was about to let go, but he like grabs him, and he's like, I'm not letting you two run off. He's like, not till I'm sure my friends have escaped. And he grabs him, and he's like, gum gum, and he's like, booming dawn, and they're like, what the? And he grabs both of them and just bam, like a cymbal. And that's literally what it's called. Booming dawn cymbal. And he flattens. Dude, it was like Conqueror's hockey, I think. It's like fucking just boom. Just freaking smashed them together. When he lets go, they're like wiggling. They're like paper. They're like, ah. So basically, you know, he grabbed do I have another figure? We're gonna use Gyu as like a reference, and he grabs them and he smashes them both, and as he does that, he turns them like into this, and they just kind of like they fall down, and they're literally pancakes. And now he's doing like the pizza, and he's like flinging them around like pizza, like woo! Since you keep better no matter what. Since you keep getting better no matter what. And they're like dazed. They're like, ugh. He's like, I'll send you flying for good. So he grabs both of them like frisbees and just tosses them. And he sends them flying. And there's like, huh? He threw something. What is that? And then boom! Right into a ship. Bam! Explodes and everything. It just started raining like crazy right now. I don't know if you can hear that. Rain break, I guess. Now, we see Luffy, and he's like, ah, you know, he's like laughing. He's like, I can't believe I did that. And there's like one that's like, and it's like flying around. And it came back. And Luffy's like, what the? And it's implied that the one he sent flying to the ship was Kizaru. And the one that's flying back is Saturn. So Luffy's like, what the? And his eyes pop out of his head. He's like, what's it gonna keep to take you down? And he's like, and he's like getting angry. And they're like, Kizaru, son, what in the world happened? Are you alright? Admiral. And we hear, we're getting in the mood now. It's raining. It's getting into like, a little gloomy type. Wait, I got a better idea. Because we're gonna get dark soon. Okay, so back to the chapter. That was a nice little break. You know, get your popcorn ready because this is where it's gonna get good. So Kizaru's on the floor, right? I assume that's not really enough to damage him that much because, you know, he's a freaking admiral. So I assume he's more like in his feels right now because he's like, oh my god, like, do I really have to get back up again and like murder people? Like, fuck, dude. At this point, Kizaru, just stay down. Please stay down, dude. We hear, there's no time, Saturn. We cannot allow Vegapunk to speak freely. And he's like, whoa, that was close. Because all the spikes are like, and Luffy's like, he's like dodging, like flying away. Double page spread. You guys ready for this? We see that scruffy giant. And they're like, there it is. It's our ship. I hope Vegapunk and the others are all right. And we see Vegapunk. We see Saint Saturn, and he's like, I shall perform the summoning. Dun dun dun. Rain. Conqueror's hockey. Everything. Black lightning. Fire. Fucking anything you can imagine. Just imagine the most badass fucking scene in anime. Like, just imagine that. It's raining right now. The atmosphere is getting good. You know, oh, this is getting amazing. They're like, very well. Lightning, the ships, everyone's like, holy crap, what's happening? Black lightning, what the? Because, you know, like hockey, it's not visible. It's just kind of for dramatic effect, if you guys didn't know that. So, like, they actually see this. We see Saint Saturn, giant spider guy. You know, ew, that looks gross. Boom, a black magic circle. Boom, a black magic circle. Boom, another black magic circle. Boom, another black magic circle. Dude, he pulled like a freaking ninjutsu on us, like a freaking summoning jutsu. And he summoned freaking the other four Gorosei. Bro, he summoned Saint Marcus Mars, top man. He summoned Ethan, and he summoned Jupiter. Jupiter, whatever. We see the flames, the dark magic circles. Luffy's eyes just pop out of his head. He's freaking out. He's like, holy shit, what is going on? This is so epic. Sanji turns around, just black pillars. He's like, what the hell? He's like, it's just like when that spider geezer appeared. And at the bottom it says, the planets are aligning. End of chapter, no break. Break next week. Dude. Holy crap. Holy crap, guys. All right. Did anyone think the other 4 Goros were going to make an appearance during Egghead? Did we really believe that all 5 of them would assemble? Like the freaking Avengers and then like freaking demons or whatever. Dude, the range just got even harder. Like this is, oh my, this is getting me hyped up. Like holy shit, guys. You guys don't understand how hyped, I mean maybe you do if you're a big ass One Piece fan like me who, you know, really enjoys talking about it. And I really wish I had friends I could talk about so they could have the same reaction that I had. But holy, oh my gosh, guys. This chapter was amazing. It was just non-stop, awesome after awesome after awesome after awesome. Seeing, you know, our previous, you know, characters, seeing new information, getting that little funny scare where they're kind of like, what should we do for 10 minutes? Maybe we should get coffee and shit. Oh my gosh, guys, this was, whoo. I know I said after every chapter, but this one was, you could tell by my voice, I was hyped up the entire time. This is why I wore a fancy shirt this time, you know? But holy crap, guys, so they summon these guys. Now, my question is, when we come back, are we going to see their forms? Because we saw the glob things, but we don't know how they actually look. Is Oda really going to, like, show us all 4 of them? And Ima's going to be vulnerable, you know? What if they catch word that all, like, 5 are assembled, and Dragon starts, like, being like, oh, shit, dude, we got to get into action. All 5 of them are assembled in one place. These are the heads of the freaking world. Let's freaking do this. And they just, like, you know, because we assume he has, like, the wind, you know, devil fruit or something. So can he realistically get there pretty quick if he has, like, the wind devil fruit? I think he can. But I don't know. Woo, this chapter was amazing, guys. I don't know what else to say. Love this chapter. Love the shit that's about to drop. Just the fact that he's broadcasting this to all over the world means it's going to be a huge message. This is just going to be an insane. This is going to be insane. All right, guys. I need a snack. I need something to do. Because this chapter was amazing. I need to, like, take a break. I need to edit this, actually. Put it up as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was my reaction and my review-ish, kind of. This was more of like a holy fuck, guys, and just talking about the chapter. But, like, yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it all the way through, let me know what you think in the next chapter. I'm going to ponder on this a little bit. Maybe think of some stuff. Watch some other YouTubers. My favorite YouTuber that I watch is Tekking101. I love watching his reviews. I love watching, you know, his reactions and stuff. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch him after I do this. See what he has to say. And then maybe I'll make a video as well. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Lazo out.